Hi, welcome to Madras Academy. In this session, we are going to learn about how to get the runtime input in Java. How many ways to get the runtime input? Using argument variable, we can get the runtime input, or you can use the scanner class or buffer reader class to get the runtime input. Okay, so in Java, we have three ways: argument, scanner, and as well as buffer reader. And using this three format, we can get the runtime input. And why we are using this argument as a first, and after that why we are learning a scanner, and instead of that why we are using buffer reader, and what is the different, everything we will see it in a practical session. And right now in this session I'm going to teach about only argument input and as well as scanner class. Only these two we'll see here. And while we move on to the exception topic, in that time I will tell you the buffered reader class. Using buffered reader, how to get the runtime input, we will see it in an exception topic. Okay, not in this topic. In exception, I will teach you that one. So here we'll see the argument input. Using variable, we'll get. Otherwise, we can get the scanner. And how to use this two method to get the runtime input, we'll see here. And after that, including with operator, we'll write the program. Again, here I am going to take arithmetical operator, conditional, and as well as logical operator. These two operators in this session, this is a new one. And arithmetical operator we already did in a previous session. And here also we'll see the arithmetical operator one more time. Using runtime input, how to calculate the value, we'll see here. About runtime input. Using argument variable, if you are going to get the runtime input, now where we are writing the argument variable. In main function, we used one argument, right? Array argument, string array argument, like that we return, right? And using that variable, we are going to get the runtime input here. Okay. Using argument variable, we need to get the runtime input. Using that variable, how to write it, we will see. Okay. And after that, scanner class is there. Using scanner class. Class means if you are going to access any method from the class, we need an object, right? So in that time, we need to create the object, and using this object, we need to get the runtime input. Okay. If I used a scanner, how many data types you are going to declare it inside the program? For example, integer, float, string, boolean, like that you are having a different data types in your code. Now, in that time, each and every data type you need to declare the separate object. Then only we can get the runtime input using this scanner. Okay, so we need to create a multiple object to get the runtime input. So for each and every data type separately, we need to create the object. That means that object is considered as a unique value. If I used a float input, after that I'm going to use the same object for the integer or string. In that time it won't accept. It will display the error message. So each and every time we need to declare the separate object using scanner. And scanner class is available in util package. We have to import the util package, then only we can able to access the scanner class. Okay, so how to import the util packages, we'll see it here. And buffered reader class, and using this also we can get the runtime input. And here if I used buffer reader in our program, we can create the single object. Okay, and using that single object we can get all type of values, all type of data type values we can get using this buffered reader object. And this class is available in IO package. Okay, so we have to use the IO package in our code, and as well as If I using the scanner na, in that time util packages you have to import it. Okay. So now what is package? About package. Package is nothing but collection of classes and interfaces. Okay, inside that package we are having some predefined classes and as well as interfaces which they already returned. Okay, so we are going to use that predefined classes or interfaces, whatever you need for your code. In that time you have to import the package, then you can able to access it. Okay, so how to write it? Import java.util.asterisk semicolon. So what is the meaning of this asterisk? Collection of classes and interfaces. Okay, and import is a keyword, and we have to use the import keyword, and then we need to call the Java is a folder name. Okay, folder name, and inside that folder one more folder, util folder is there, and inside that util folder we are having the scanner class. And not only the scanner class, we have lots of classes in this util package. For example, array list, linked list, vector, and in interfaces na, in that list, enumeration, iterator, everything we are having inside this util package only. And if we need to display the date and time also, for that also we have to import this util package. Okay, so lots of classes and interfaces we are having in this util package. Once you import it, then you can able to access it, that predefined classes in your code. Okay, so in that time we have to import this package, and as well as IO package. And here also Java is folder, IO is a folder, inside that buffered reader is there. Okay, and using that buffer reader we can get the runtime input. If we are going to use the buffer reader, in that time also we need to use the IO package. Like this way we have to import it. Okay, before class, before main function, or if you are creating any class, before that you can import it. Okay, I will tell you how to write it here and where we need to write it. And as well as here I am having a import java.util. I'm not using asterisk. Okay, so I return a scanner like that, directly class name. Okay, that means in this package I'm going to use only the scanner class, not any other class. Okay, but if I mention asterisk, it's a collection of class. Whatever the class I need to access it, one time import, and we can able to all access all the classes whatever we are having inside that. Okay, but if it is an you are specifying that only the scanner, no, only scanner class is allow you to access it, not any other class or interfaces. Okay, so this is the another way we have to import it, like this way also. Okay, so for that I'm returning like this. Okay, so now you understand about the packages, right? Now using this packages and how to get the runtime input using this scanner class, and as well as argument input. Argument input, I didn't return any package, and I'm not explained in previous sessions also. I'm not explained any predefined packages. Directly I start write the class, main function, and I return some print message. I didn't return any packages in that previous class program. Why? Because in that all the Java files, whatever the code we are going to write it, in all the Java file, LAN package is a default package. Okay, that means import java.lang, L-A-N-G, lang. Like that we have a default package. Okay, so using that LAN package, we can able to access all the primitive data type like integer, float, double, string. Like that we are having some data types, right? So we can able to access all the predefined data types using the LAN package only. Okay, so that is a default package. And how to write that packages and all. This is a default package. Here also we are having a collection of classes and interfaces. and we need to import like this. Import java.lang dot asterisk semicolon. Okay, and here we are having lots of classes and interfaces. Okay, and if I'm going to specify the particular class now, like this way we can import it. Land dot integer, land dot float, land dot string, like that, boolean, anything we can write it. Okay, and we have some other predefined classes also, but I used a string class in our code in a previous session. I didn't import the package. By defaultly this package is available, and no need to import this one. Okay, instead of that, whatever the packages you are going to write it, okay, you are going to use it in your code. In that time you have to import the package. For example, scanner or buffer reader you are going to use now. In that time you have to import the util and as well as IO. Okay, so now using this, how to get the runtime input we'll see, and we will see the one by one process. And first we will complete the argument variable input. Okay, and this is the third class, and here I open the command in class 2 location. We need to go to the class 3 in command window. Okay, so for that, here I'm going to use cd dot dot, that means change directory. If I give like this, it will automatically come out of this directory. Directory means folder. Okay, now I'm in core java program folder. See, this is the core java program folder. Here I'm going to create the class 3 file. Okay, so how to write folder? I'm going to write it using I'm going to create the folder using md. Okay, and what is the folder name? Class 3, like that I created. See, my folder is created here. Okay, now I'm going to enter into that folder. So I'm going to use class 3, and now I entered into that folder. Okay, so now whatever the programs I'm going to write it, I'm going to write it everything inside this folder only. Okay, so now we'll move on to this code, and here I'm going to create a new file, and just write a class program, and this is a first program, and this is for the argument input. I'm going to use it. So I'm creating a static block and as well as main function, public static void main, then string argument. Okay, and then I need to save this file. Just copy it and go to the class 3 folder, and inside that program1 dot java. Okay, I saved in class 3. See, okay, so this is in class 3 folder, and here I'm going to write a message first. So for what purpose we return this one? Argument input, right? So we're here using argument arg input. Okay, like this I've given one heading, and inside that I didn't return any code right now. Okay, so now we'll start the code. Before that, if we need to compile the program, you can compile it. Java C program1.java. So only the static block will execute here, right? And now we'll go to the code and we'll write the code. First, we will declare the variable integer variable. Okay, int a equal to. Okay, so here I'm going to write arg box bracket 0. So array index value, this arg variable, argument variable only I'm using here. Okay, if I used argv here now, if I declared like this, you have to use argv. Whatever the variable you are having here, that one you have to use it. Okay, see, I'm declaring like this, int a equal to argb is an array variable, so I'm passing 0 index value. This is a first input, right? So I'm passing 0. So here I'm trying to print this output. Okay, out dot println, and here we'll write 0 index value is 0 index value is a. Okay, just I'm printing the value. See, I'm trying to write string value to integer. Is it possible to assign the string value to integer data type? We'll try it. Compile. It will display the error. Okay, string cannot be converted to int. Okay, so this is a string variable, not able to convert that value to the integer variable directly. So for that purpose, I'm going to use integer dot parse int, this method. Okay, so what is this integer? It is a vapor class. Okay, from integer only we are getting int data type. Okay, so it's deriving and we are using the int data type here. This is a vapor class. Okay, so in this class we are having parseInt method. This parseInt method is a predefined method which is already available in this integer class, and this is a static method. Okay, if it is static method, we need to access it using that class name. We need to access that function. Okay, and we need to pass in this predefined function, we need to pass the any one argument, and here I am passing this argv of 0, like that, this array argument. Okay, so if I write like this, whatever the string value we are having here, that will be converted by the help of this parseInt. Okay, and that value will assign to this a variable. Now in this time we are not able to get this type of error in this code. Okay, so this is the predefined class, and as well as string also the predefined class. I used in previous sessions also string class, right? Here newly I used integer class for converting the value from string to integer. I'm using here, but I'm not returned any package in this, right? So see, once I compiled, it won't display any error in this time. Okay, so now I'm going to run the program. See, now in this runtime I'm getting the exception, not a error. Okay, so what is the exception error message here? From Java lang package I'm getting array index out of bounds exception, 0 index. Where we are getting? In 0 index I'm getting. So how I return the code? I'm passing the argument input, but I'm not given any input in the argument, right? So for that only it's displaying the error message, because I forget to give the input. Okay, while we writing this code, I'm not having any message like enter first number, enter second number. I'm not having any message to get the input. If you forget to give the input in that time, okay, whether the user is passing the proper value or improper value, in that time we will get the exception error message only. Okay, so here I missed to pass the value, so I am getting the exception error message. So how to clear this? Once you run the program, you have to pass the value after this class name. You have to give the space and pass the value 10 like this. Okay, so if I pass the value here as an argument value, see, we'll get the input and output properly. Okay, see, again I'm going to pass the value. I need to pass the integer value. Suppose by mistake I'm given a character. In that time, number format exception. It won't display the error, it will display the exception error message. This is the runtime exception. In exception topic, I'm going to recollect this all the example and error messages and everything. So don't forget. So for that only I'm telling here when we are getting the error and what is error, what is exception, like that I'm telling here separately, and you just go through this topic. Okay, so here if I passed improper value, in that time number format exception. If I'm not passing any argument value, in that time array index out of bound exception. In that array we don't have any value. If you try to print that value, it will display the error message. Okay, so like this we will get the error message. Okay, so we need to pass the value properly, then only it will print the output. If you miss to pass the value, it won't display the error message. But in this concept, I'm not having any messages also. Like enter first number, enter second number, enter name, enter email ID. I'm not getting any message. And here we are having a drawback also, right? Without message, if you are passing the argument value like this, what value we need to pass, whether it is an integer, float, string, I'm not able to understand, right? But if you learn this code, then you can able to identify whether in the zero index it is an integer value. In the same way, if I'm going to pass the float, na, so for that here we are writing float, right? Float. Here I'm using f equal to, here I need to write float dot parse float. This is the next index value, right? So we need to pass 1, and here for 1, what is the output? For the f variable, it will print. Okay, now I'm having 0 index value and as well as 1 index value. So now we'll compile this. Okay, while we run the program, we need to pass the value. Okay, so if you pass the value here properly, it will display the output. Again, if you are passing improper value, it will display the exception error message. Okay, the second value is a float value. In the same way, if it is double value, na, in the same format you have to write it. See, I'm using double. And the d is a variable, and here I'm using double parse double. Okay, and here this is the second index value, and the second index value I am passing in d variable. Okay, now we will compile, and once you run the program, after space, whatever the values we are going to pass, that will be assigned as a second argument. Okay, like this way we need to pass it. We'll get the next argument value. Okay, now integer, float, double, and if you are getting string, na, so how to write it? Here we need to write string, and string to string we can directly assign. So here you can pass arg v box bracket of that 3. Okay, so now we need to print the output, and directly we can assign it, and no need to convert it here. And this one is a third index value, and here I assign in a str variable. Okay, so now we'll compile, and once you run the program, here we need to pass the value, then only it will print the output. Okay, so if suppose we need to pass the string value, by mistake we are passing 20, 25 or anything, na, so string value, this is a number that will be considered as a string, and we can assign directly. Number value also we can assign for the string, so it won't display any error, but this is a meaningless line, like that we will consider here. Like like this way, if I get any message and then we are getting the input, na, this drawback we can avoid it. Okay, so for that purpose, only we are getting the scanner input. Okay, in scanner input, how to get, we will see here. Before that, see, I'm using integer, float, double, like that we are having string, like that we are having a vapor classes right here. So this classes and all, where it is available, import java.land.asterisk semicolon. That is in land package, we are having this predefined classes. Okay, so I am not import that package anyway. That land package is a default package, so it will automatically consider that package is already available there. So there only we have to import the package. See, if I'm not imported also, we am getting the output. Here I imported the land package like this, and I'm getting the same output only. There is no any changes in that. Okay, so like this way we can get the user runtime input Okay, whatever the values you need to change, you can change any input from here and we'll get the different output also. Okay, so now the same code for the simple arithmetical calculation I will do it. See, I'm just modifying this code. Okay, so program 2, I'm going to save this. This is for the using argument input. We'll have addition. Okay, addition. Okay, we'll do addition here. This is first number and I will delete this all the thing from here, and I need to get the second variable value also, right? So for that, one index, second variable. Okay, and then c equal to a plus b. Okay, and here addition, that is sum of two number. We'll get this output in c variable. Okay, so like this I given some addition program. Okay, and if I'm not import the package also, the program will execute. By defaultly this package is already available. So now I'll execute this program to see. I'm going to change the class name program2.java, and here I didn't declare this int c, so for that cannot find symbol C, variable C, like that it will display the error message. So once I declared here, now I'll write, once I compiled, this is for the program 3. Okay, Java C program. So I didn't change the class name also. One sec. This is a program, sorry, program 2 only, right? Here it is program 2, and we need to run the program. So using Java program 2, and here you can give, after space you can give any value like this. So it will automatically calculate and it will print the output. And here you can give any input, any different value. Okay, like this. So we'll get the output here. This is for the program 2. Okay, this is simple arithmetical calculation using argument input. We can do like this. Okay, how many input you are going to take, for each and every argument input you have to give the index value. Starting from 0, we need to assign the value like this, 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so for boolean also you can collect it here. I didn't return, so for that boolean dot parse boolean. So how you need to find this parseInt method? See, this is a predefined method. How they return? First letter small letter, second word capital. Without space we have to write it. Same way, all the format they already used like this. And if suppose we are going to create the user defined functions also, we have to follow the same pattern. Okay, so if you forget to write parse float, okay, so suppose you are writing small letter, in that time you will be getting error, right? In that time, where we have to check this parseInt method, how they returned like that. Okay, parse float method, parseInt, parseInt, parse float, parse double method, where we need to find now. You just go to the command window and you have to remember this command, and then only you can able to check it out. Okay, so java p java dot land dot integer. So if you write this command, see here we are having a parseInt method. This is an integer class. Here I will get a parseInt method. See, it is a static method. So this is outside of the class, not in my class. I'm not having a parseInt method. In program 1, I'm not written any parseInt method, but I'm going to access this parseInt method from this integer class. That means from outside of the class I'm going to access it. Okay, so in that time, if I'm going to access this static method here now, from which class we are going to access it? That class name and function name, like that we have to write it. Okay, class name, function name. If it is static method, we need to access it like that way only. See, they already created like this way. Parse int static, like this they created. Okay, so here you can check the spelling. This is for the integer class, and if it is float, float. Okay, in float also we are having lots of method, but I'm going to tell only the parseInt method. See, this is they returned already in a static float, parse float, like that only they returned. Okay, and in the same way double also is there, na? Okay, same way you can have all the each and every classes, we can have it like this. Okay, java p space java dot land dot double. Okay, so here parse double is there. Where it is parse double, here it is. See, this is a static method, so that only we are using that class name and the function name. Okay, so once we are creating the static function, how to access it, I will tell you that one also. We'll see it later. Okay, so now you understand how to get the argument input. Okay, now we'll move on to the scanner class. Okay, so scanner class, from which package we are having? Java dot util package, right? Util dot scanner. Okay, so see here I'm having the final class scanner. Okay, this is the class scanner name. In util package we are having this class, and here these are all the constructor, and as well as we are having some methods. I will explain you that one later. But if you are going to get the runtime input for the integer, for that we are having next int method. See, this is not a static method. See, in this function I am not having a static keyword. Next int, if you are going to get the integer value, we need to use next int. If it is long, next long. See, I am not having static. Okay, I am not having static for short. Okay, next byte. Okay, and as well as next float, next double. So these are all the method we are going to get the runtime input. Okay, and then next line is there, na, where it is next line also we are having here only. Okay, next line where they returned. Here it is. See, these are all the methods I'm going to use it in our code to get the runtime input. So how to get the runtime input using scanner class, and using this method how to get the runtime input, how to access this method in our class, we'll see that. Okay, now we'll move on to the next concept, and I'm going to use the same code. I'm going to modify this one. Okay, I will copy it and I will create a new file, paste it, and here I'm going to import util package. In util package only I'm having the scanner class. So I imported that one, and I need to change the class name as program 3. I just have save it. Okay. Now here I'm going to using scanner. Scanner class runtime input. Okay, that is a heading. And here for all the data types I'm going to get the runtime input. Okay, so first we'll see this one. I will put it this all the code in a command line. I will do one by one. First I will see the integer. Okay, I will write the integer code. First we have to, if I'm going to get the input, first we need to create the object. Okay, scanner s1 equal to new scanner. Within a parenthesis system dot in. Okay, so like this we need to create the object for the scanner class. Okay, so how we are considering this is object? Here we are having a new keyword, right? In that time, whatever the variables whatever the declarations you declared here, this is considered as an object. Okay, And if I'm going to print the output, we are using out, right? In the same way, if I'm going to get the runtime input, in that time we need to use system in. System in, it used to get the input. System out, it used to print the output. Okay, so first you have to declare the scanner object, and then we need to give the instruction. Previously, without instruction, if I get the runtime input, I'm getting the error message, right? Exception error message, right? So we can avoid in this. So here you can use system.out.println, enter first, enter integer number. Okay, so like this, I'm having a message first, and then I'm going to remove this all the thing, and instead of that I'm going to use s1. S1 is a object. Okay, and for the integer I'm going to write it. See, for the integer I'm having a method next int, like that they return, right? I just copied this one and I'm going to paste it, next int. Okay, that's it. So like this way we need to get the integer value, and if I need to print this value, we can write integer. Okay, colon, and in which variable I'm getting? A variable. So I'm printing the A variable value. So now we'll see the output for this first. Okay, so just I'm going to compile. This is the program 3, and I'm going to run the program 3. See, I'm getting the input and it's printing the output. So enter integer number. So in that time we can get the message what type of values we are going to input, like that. After that we are getting the input and output. Okay, so like this way we can get the runtime input. Okay, in the same way for float we will see. Okay, so for the float, okay, so enter float. Okay, so here if it is float, we need to declare the float variable. Okay, and f we need to print it, and here float. Okay, and here we need to write next float. Okay, so now we'll compile and run the program. In the same way, integer value and as well as float value, and no need to terminate it here. Okay, so directly it's considered as a float only. Okay, and no need to write this kind of code, argument input and everything. Okay, and in the same way for the double and the string also we'll see here. Okay, and for the double, first we'll give the message enter double number, double value. Okay, float value, like that I will change it. And here for the double, no need to create it, and here we can use s1 dot next double. Okay, and here I'm going to print the double equal to d. Okay, so it will print it. See, I'm going to compile and I'm not passing a string argument. This one later I will do it. Okay, first we will see the output for this, all the integer, float and a double. See, just I compiled and I will run the program. So this is for the integer, this is for the float, and this is for the double. Okay, everything is printing, but this all the input and output I used s1 object only. Okay, but what I told you, like we need to create the different memory, then only it will create the output properly, like that it will display the output properly, like that I told you. But here I used for all the input and output I used s1 object. I didn't create a different object. Okay, so right now I'm going to do, see, I'm going to write this string input. Okay, string input I'm just removing here. After this integer I will paste it here. Okay, I'm going to get the input, string input after the integer. So enter string value. Okay, so like this I will write it. And if it is a string value, I'm using again s1 dot next line. This is the method. We need to use this method to get the string input, and here it will print the string, right? So now we'll see the output. See, I changed the order integer, string, and again I'm creating float double. Okay, so now we'll see the output. We'll compile, and once you run the program, first is integer. See that string value, it's not getting the input and output. Okay, so directly it will come out of the termination, and then it will display the float value and the double value like this. Okay, so I'm not getting the input here. Okay, for the string. In the same way, see, if I cut this float and after the double, I'm going to get the input. Okay, and at last I'm going to print the string. Okay, like this I change the order here. Okay, now I will compile this and I will run the program. See, I'm getting the integer and double value and then float value, and then string value is not printing. See, okay, so for this drawback only, we need to create the different object for each and every data type. We need to create the different object, and we can avoid this type of output error message, okay, in our runtime. So I'm creating the different object here. See, like this. Okay, so now for the first integer I'm going to use s1. Okay, for the second, here I'm going to use s2. This is a different memory, and this one is different memory for s3, s3, and this one is s4. Okay, and you can write any order. Okay, like this I declared. See, now I'm going to compile, and previously we are not getting the output for the string value, right? So it won't display it like this here. See, 15, 15.2. So this is the decimal value. Okay, and as well as string value. It's getting the input. So it will display all the output properly. So for that only we need to create each and every data type. We need to create the different memory. Okay, then it won't display it that kind of error. Okay, like this way we need to handle it. And if it is an character, how to get it? So this is an s5, and enter character value, and here character ch, and this is for the s5, right? S5, and for getting the character input, next dot char at 0. This is the method to get the runtime input for the character, and whatever the characters I'm having here, I need to print it using ch variable. Okay, so now we'll see this, and one more time we will compile and we will run the program. So this is for the integer and double and float and string and character. Everything is printing. Okay, same way for a boolean. I missed to write boolean, so we'll write that one also. Now we covered all the data types runtime input, whatever we are going to use it in our code. Okay, so this is for the boolean, and here boolean, here I will give a status. Okay, so here s6 for boolean data type. Okay, next boolean, like this we need to write it. Okay, and then here we need to print the status. Okay, and we need to call the status variable. Okay, that's it. Now we'll compile this and I will run the program. See, integer value, double value, float value, welcome to Chennai. Okay, that's a string message, and single character, anything you can write it. Okay, and here true or false value. So like this we can get all the inputs. Okay, and in this code I think you can understand how to get the runtime input for all the data types using scanner class. Okay, so now I'm going to write the simple addition program again. Not addition program, we will do any other operator, multiple, like that. Okay, I'm going to copy this and I will write one more code. And here I need to change util, and in this I need to use the scanner class. Okay, so I can import like this also. Okay, this is another way to import the package. Okay, and here this is the program for, first I will save this .java. Okay, so this is the scanner input for multiplication. Okay, or simple interest calculation. Okay, so we'll do it here. And first we'll remove this. First we have to declare all the variables whatever we need. See, for the principal amount, I'm going to give the integer type. Okay, and the number of years also I'm going to give the integer. Okay, and for the float, rate of interest. So how I declared, see, the same format you have to declare the variable, put on semicolon, and if you calculate the float and integer value together, definitely we'll get the double output only, right? So we'll use double for simple interest. Okay, so how many data types here we are having? 3 data type are declared, and we need to get the input for 2 data types, right? So for that we need a 2 scanner. Okay, so how to declare it? Scanner s1 equal to new scanner and system dot in. Okay, and in the same way you have to write it one more time. This is for the float. One is integer, another one is float. I'm going to use it in this program. And if you are going to declare how many variables you are going to declare for the integer, for all the integer data type, you have to use only s1. If you plan for s1 only, we need to use it for a integer data type. We are not supposed to use this s1 for float or double anything. Okay, like that way you need to follow the code. And first the declaration and the variable declaration, scanner declaration, everything is completed, and we need to get the runtime input for the principal amount. Okay, so system.out.print enter principal amount. Okay, and p amount equal to s1 dot next int. In the same way I need to get the input for the number of years. Okay, just I'm writing number of years and number of years. Okay, and then I'm going to write it the same concept for the rate of interest. Okay, rate of interest, enter rate of interest. Okay, and this one is I'm going to use it s2 object. Okay, now all the inputs are over, and then we need to give the calculation. So here we'll write a calculation equal to p amount into number of years into rate of interest divided by 100. Okay, and finally you can print the output. Print ln uh, interest value is, and what is the int value that will print. Okay, so like this way we can write the simple calculation using scanner, and here I used multiple divide and everything. Okay, and we'll do the compile and we'll run the program. And what is the program number? 4. Okay, so go to the command window and compile it. Java C program 4.java, and then we need to run the program. Okay, so we need to give the principal amount, number of years, and the rate of interest. Okay, so like this we'll calculate the value in runtime input. Okay, so now you understand how to write it. Okay, so next we'll see the conditional operator. Here I created the condition operator code. Okay, I completed the basic code here. Okay, so using this conditional operator, using if else, how to write the program, we will see that. What are the conditional operator? Greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, equal to equal to. These are all the conditional operator. Okay, using this operator, how to write the code, we'll see. And I'm going to check whether the first number is greater than second number or not. Okay, so for that I need a two variable a and b. I need to get the runtime input. For that I need a scanner. Okay, so I already told you how to get the scanner input. Okay, see, this is the scanner input. I'm just copying this 3 line from here and I paste it. Okay, but in this class I didn't import the package. See, in all the program 3 also I imported the package using asterisk. I imported, and in program 4 directly I used a scanner, but in program 5 I didn't import the package. Okay, so without importing the package, if I'm going to use this scanner class now, here we have one more method, java.util. Like this, wherever you are going to use this predefined class, okay, in that location you can write it like this way. And if you write like this type of scanner object, no need to import the package. Okay, so we have 3 way. Whatever the ways you are comfortable, you can write it. Okay, this is another way. Like this way we can get, and this is the first number. Okay, enter first number, and a already declared, so I'm going to remove this, and I'm having only the integer data type here, so no need to declare this scanner object again. Only one object is enough, and using that object I can get the first number and as well as the second number also. Okay, so here I can use b variable. Okay, and then if a is equal to b. Okay, sorry, I used a greater than operator, right? I told you greater than. A is greater than b. Condition is true, it will enter into this block, else it will enter into this block. Okay, that's it. And here you can write a message, system dot out dot println a is greater than b. Okay, and here we need to change the message like b is greater than a. Okay, like this we need to complete it. Okay, now we'll go to the code. We'll compile the program, java c program 5 dot java. Okay, and I used a semicolon there, here where I written. See, you have to find the error in 22 line, right? 22 and 26, and I just copied and pasted. So I'm getting this 2 line error. Okay, So now I'll CLS and then again we'll compile and I will run the program 5. So here it will ask the first number 20 and 10. A is greater, and here 10 and 20 na B is greater. Okay, so like this way we can check the condition, and you can change the operators here. Okay, whether it is equal to or less than equal to, whatever the operators you need to check, you can change it, and you can change the message related to the operator. Okay, so like this way we have to handle the if else condition. Okay, and if you are not writing the if, there is no any problem in that. Okay, it won't display any error, and simply you can write if alone. Okay, so if the value is true, it will print true block. Otherwise, if the value is false, it will enter, it won't display any output because the else block is not there. Okay, so if you need to write else, you can write it. Otherwise, no need to write the else block also. Okay, like this way we can write the if else statement. Okay, and then we have elif statement. Continuously we can check the condition and it will print the output. And how to write the elif concept here, we'll see that. Okay, so just I'm going to copy this basic code, and I'm going to use the conditional operator and logical operator here. Okay, so what are the logical operator? And or not. Okay, so how to use this operator, we'll see that. And first we'll save this file, program6.java. Okay, so I saved. This is for the logical operator, and here I'm planning for student details. In that I'm going to write a student name, standard, 5 subject, mark, total and average. Okay, and I'm going to print the grade for the student also. Okay, so using conditional and logical operator, and here I will use the arithmetical operator also. Okay, and how to write the code we'll see. And first we will declare all the variables. Okay, so here I will write a string student name. Okay, and then standard also I will make it in string. Okay, string std. Okay, and then 5 subject, mark, I'm going to write m1, m2, m3, m4, m5. Okay, and I need to find the total also, and then I need to find the average. Average I will do it in integer. Okay, I need an integer value only. Okay, average, and then I need to print the grade. Okay, so for that, grade, like that I declare one string variable. Okay, and for this grade I'm going to assign the initial value as empty. Why? Because I'm going to assign the value in a code, I'm not going to get the runtime input for that. Okay, for all the mark and the standard and as well as your name, okay, I'm going to get the runtime input. For that I'm going to import the package. Okay, so import java dot util dot asterisk semicolon. Okay, and how many data types we are having? Only 2 data types. Okay, so for that we need to write a scanner s1 equal to new scanner. Here system dot in. Okay, and then copy this and paste it one more time, and 2. Okay, and then we need to get the input, system dot out dot print enter student name, and here stu name equal to s1 dot next line, and here declare it. And as well as we need to write a standard also. Okay, so student std, and here I need to write as std standard, and then we need to get the runtime input for 5 subject mark, okay, to find the total. And here I just copied this and paste it and enter mark 1, okay. And here I need to use m1, and this is for the integer, so I'm going to use s2, okay. In the same way, create the mark input for mark 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And here mark 2, mark 3, mark 4, mark 5, okay. So once you get all the input, we need to find the total equal to m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4 plus m5, okay. And then finally we need to get the average total divided by 5. That's it. And finally we need to print it. Before that, we will check the grade also here, okay. So for that, if that average mark is greater than equal to 90, okay, in that time we already having a grade variable as an empty, right? In that we will write O grade, okay. And then in the same way, I need to use the logical operator, okay. And we need to check the between value, right? So for that, we'll use the logical operator. And see, I returned everything here. uh, if it is greater than 90, O grade. If it is less than 90 and average is greater than equal to, I will give 70, okay. If it is 70, now we need to print A grade, okay. And here in the same way, if it is less than 70 and average is greater than equal to 50, in that time it will print B grade, okay. Else no grade, okay. So we need to print no grade, okay. That's it. And we'll get all the input and the calculation and the checking statement, everything is finished. And finally we need to print all the values, okay. System dot out dot print ln. First we need to print the student name, okay, plus stu name. In the same way, we have to print the standard, okay, std and std. And then same way we need to print the total. I'm not going to print the mark 1, mark 2, mark 3. So just I'm going to print the total. And finally I need to print the average, average, okay. And at last I'm going to print the grade. So based upon that average, whatever the grade, whether it is O grade or A grade, B grade, this value will print here, okay. So like this way we need to write the student details. And using scanner class I will get the runtime input. And in this code I used arithmetical operator for calculating the mark, okay, and as well as divisions also in arithmetical operator. And I used conditional operator and as well as logical operator. In logical operator I used and in next concept we will use the other operator wherever we need, okay. So in this demo I used AND operator. That means between value it will check and it will print the output, okay. Now we'll give the input for that. And what is this program number? Java C. Program number is 6, okay. No, I didn't change that integer, right? So here we need write int. If I'm not change the method name, it will display the error message like string cannot be converted to int. Again it will display the error message for m1, m2, m3, okay. I just copied and pasted it now, so I forgot to change it. So once I compiled this program number 6, see, it's compiled. and I'm going to run this. Okay, so I'm going to use RAM. That standard is 12th and file subject mark. Oh, okay. See, now it is B grade. Okay, and I'm going to give John. Standard is 12 and mark. And it will print O grade. And we need to print a A grade. Okay, so for that, I will use Peter 12 and B grade we need, right? So for that, I will plan here like this. I think it will print the A grade. Okay. So how many? Mostly we got all the grade, I think. O grade, B grade, A grade, and we need to print the fail block also. Okay. So for that, fail. Okay. So for fail, I will write it here. I'm entering the mark like this. So no grade. Okay. So now most of all we'll get all the grades B, O, A and no grade. All the blocks are working here. Okay. So like this way we need to write the scanner object to get the runtime input and argument input also. So in argument input we don't have any message, but in scanner while we using scanner we will get the message what value we need to enter like that, and then we are getting the input. We have some instructions here. Okay, so that is a different, and here we need to create the different memory. Okay, so I told you about buffer reader, but I didn't use it. And in exception topic, I will use the buffer reader. Before that, in next session, I'm going to use the scanner only. Okay, so using the scanner class, I'm going to get the runtime input for the next topic. So for that only, I told you right now. Okay, we just go through the code, and you got some idea about the scanner class and argument input, and as well as your operators also. Okay, using arithmetic, conditional and logical operator. Okay, so now how to import the util packages, and what is a how to import it using asterisk, without asterisk. I imported the util package, and how I didn't use the IO package. While we move on to this class, I will import it and I will show the output. And this LAN package is a default package. Okay, and no need to import this. And for the argument program, no need to import. Directly we can use the argument input without LAN package. Okay, so like this way, without importing the package, we are not supposed to write the code. Okay, you just do the hands-on practice, and then only you can able to understand whatever we did the code here. Okay, thanks for watching.